Hearings? Okay, we do have public participation, another sign that times are slowly getting back to normal. We have Jessica from the Prairie Food Co-op, which will be going in at the old theater site. And Jessica is going to give us a presentation on what's in store. So Jessica, when you're all ready, it's all yours.
All right, thank you. So I'm Jessica Buttimer. I am a Prairie Food Co-op owner and volunteer. And tonight I want to give you a little bit of an update about what's going on at the food co-op. This isn't a request for any action item on your part or request for assistance, just information. But I do want to thank the village for being a very responsive resource to us throughout our development process and just really being very nice to work with. And thanks to the board members for being gracious and accessible audience for us, and I do appreciate the time that you put in as your volunteer role of the board. I also want to thank you both for having the vision to attract a grocer to the downtown space, which is a much needed resource for local residents, and I'm honored that I can be a part of bringing your vision to fruition. So we are, I do hope that you can be proud of the work that we do for the community. As a co-op, we are a mission-driven grocery store that is owned and governed by the community, that operates on behalf of the community. And we know that even the littlest Lombardians are counting us to operate ethically and sustainably. Co-ops are more common than you might think, so you likely interact with them more than you would expect. So if you've ever bought Land O'Lakes butter or Ocean Spray, Sun-Made raisins, shopped at REI or Ace Hardware, or even read an article from the Associated Press, you've interacted with a co-op. And there are actually over 250 co-ops across the U.S., and most have been in business for over 30 years. There are actually 140 new co-ops organizing right now. In Illinois, we have 7 existing co-ops and 7 startups, and I'll zoom into the Chicagoland area, where we have just 2 open co-ops and 5 startups. 4 of us started organizing at about the same time, actually. We're in a bit of a cohort. And all of us are at the same point where we're starting to raise funds and secure our locations. That means that the number of co-ops in Chicagoland could triple by 2022, which would be a real tipping point for creating a more sustainable and resilient food system. And that's important because of our powerful impact, which is far greater than conventional grocers. We are an economic multiplier, so for every $10 spent at our grocery store, we generate an additional $16 in local economic activity. Based on our projected sales, that's over $8 million. That's in addition to all the services and workers that will be employed during our construction, and once open, our co-op will employ about 35 local residents. The average co-op features over 150 local farms and food producers, which is about 100 more than the average conventional grocer. Co-ops also develop strong partnerships with food pantries to stock their shelves with healthy foods, to feed our neighbors in need and reduce food waste. That's in addition to comprehensive food accessibility programs. Co-ops also educate their communities on healthy food preparation, meal planning, utilizing bulk foods to keep costs low, and more. They're also very successful, especially those that are following the Food Cooperative Initiative Development Model, like we are. On average, after 8 years, food co-ops have an 89% success rate, which is a stark contrast to 70% of small businesses that fail after 10 years. If you haven't seen pictures of our site yet, it is beautiful. It's with so many windows and outdoor seating right in the heart of downtown Lombard. It's a location that's biker, pedestrian, and commuter friendly. And with no other grocery stores within a mile and limited options to the north, Prairie Food Co-op will be a vital hub for the thousands of residents, daytime workers, and daily commuters. Here is the view from the north looking southeast along Main Street. And this is the view from the south looking northeast. And you can see where the deliveries will be made. There's the headlights of the truck over there, if you can see that. So what can Lombard expect in terms of economic impact? So every dot on the map is an owner who will shop the store and is invested in our success. You can see from the pie chart in the dark green slice that about half of our owners live in Lombard and the rest are from surrounding communities. That means we will be bringing shoppers from surrounding communities to Lombard on a weekly basis. These are folks who are able to invest $200 in an idea that they've patiently waited to see come to fruition. The average household in DuPage County spends over $8,000 on food annually. Based on where our biggest grocers are headquartered, most of that wealth is leaving our county and state. In PFC's trade area alone, that represents $330 million lost to other communities. But once our doors are open, PFC will be positioned to capture about $5 million of that food dollar that will stay right here in Lombard. Co-ops also become hubs for small and startup farmers and food producers, growing the numbers of employees and new businesses that enter the market to meet the growing demand for locally and responsibly sourced foods. It will take $4.4 million to open and operate our store. So our market studies and expert consultants have advised that we need to have a 10,000 square foot store to meet consumer expectations and be competitive in our suburban location. Our store will be slightly smaller than the average Trader Joe's, but slightly larger than the average Walgreens. Once the outer walls of our store are built by holiday, PFC will invest about another $1 million to finish the interior, and another $1 million to purchase all necessary equipment like freezers, refrigerators, checkouts, and about $1 million will be needed to fund operations before we open the store, to hire staff and stock our shelves. Finally, just over $1 million will be designated for working capital and contingency funds. This is money that's required by our potential lenders, and these are funds that are critical to our long-term viability in the face of unforeseen circumstances that we can all imagine, and to help mitigate risks to our investors. While ownership shares have funded our outreach and startup efforts, they represent less than 7% of the total capital we need. That's the yellow slice. And less than a quarter of the funds will come from a traditional bank loan and our developer. Those are the blue slices. The bulk of our funding is represented by the green slices and is where our community investment program comes in. This is where we ask the community to help us reach our $3.1 million goal by May 15th through investments or donations. Sounds like a big number, and it is, but all co-ops raise their funds this way, and we have a tried and true process that we're following, and an amazing team of volunteers. This is just about half of them represented on this slide. And most importantly, we have a community that wants to see us succeed, and over 1,200 owners who have been waiting to help make this happen. Which is why we are calling it the fun part, because it's really been a joy to talk with all of our owners who are just excited that this time has come and we are ready to make our store a reality. In fact, we launched this program on Monday and we've already raised $300,000. So we're really just getting started. This is our timeline. We're in the all hands on deck phase of calling all of our owners and reaching out to others in the community. Construction is going to start any day now, and that puts us in position to open our store in late summer or early fall. If you would like to learn more about what we're doing, you can visit our website, follow us on Facebook, and join our newsletter. We're also happy to speak to any group that invites us. And you can reach our co-founder, Kathy Nash, and board president, and myself at invest@prairiefood.coop if you want to learn more about our investment program. And you can reach out to co-founder Jerry Nash, who is our outreach coordinator, if you are interested in learning more about becoming an owner. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Will you have like hot foods for lunch and things like that for the commuters and
Yeah, so
dinner?
we still have to do the design process, but we know that we want to be accessible to all the workers in the downtown and have a place for them to go. So that is definitely something that we want to see be a part of the store.
Trustee Honig?
Yeah, I do have a question, but first I just want to start off saying, as a trustee in the district where this is being constructed, I am very happy with how this has been going. Over the course of these last few months, we, village manager and I and other trustees have met with Kathy Nash, and she's just been wonderful, and I really appreciate you coming today and representing Prairie Food Co-op, and I really do think that it's going to fill a gap, in Lombard where a lot of people haven't had the chance to, access, very well-priced food, very nutritious items. And, it's something that our community has been wanting for a very long time. And I think that a Prairie Food Co-op is just what we needed. And I really do appreciate, and I really do think everyone in District 4 and all the districts in Lombard will appreciate this when it comes to fruition. I do just have one question. I think maybe one of the more confusing things that maybe would be good just to elaborate on is just how the preferred stock section and like the ownership section, maybe just to get a little bit more info on how that exactly works, because it's such a unique system, and in a way that it really does it's a front part of your your construction and what you guys do. So
Yeah, so so a lot of small businesses can't really crowd fund and raise funds from the community, and co-ops have a special exemption in the state law that allows us to raise funds in this way. And so we can offer up to 10 shares per individual in Illinois. They don't have to be owners, they just have to be residents of Illinois. So our owners already have 2 ownership shares, and that kind of common stock gives them voting rights, and they can run for office on our board. But then that leaves 8 more preferred shares that they can purchase to help us raise the funds we need. And those preferred shares are each $1,000 a piece. So owners are able to invest up to $8,000, and non-owners are able to invest up to $10,000. And those have target dividends, just like any stock in any company. They're not guaranteed, and there are risks.
Gotcha. Thank you so much for the clarification.
Yeah, Jessica, thank you so much for coming out with your presentation. I wish you good luck with this, and $300,000 in 4 days?
Yeah.
That's a good start.
It's a great
That's a great start.
We're really excited.
And I think you'll find working with our staff, working with Keith Steiskell, Scott, and everybody involved out here, top-notch professionals. So
Absolutely.
Good luck, and it's a great addition to the downtown.
Thank you so
And the
much.
building looks beautiful.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Jessica.
Congratulations.